Looks like the cleanup got all finished. Sadhu. Is the exterior one? Sadhu. So in a little bit we can all come back together and gather again for the ceremonies. I think a good way to start this is the Samathan Sinha. And for anybody who would like a Thai chanting book, at the back of the sala on the bench, there's a few Thai chanting books. There's maybe 20 or so Thai chanting books. Otherwise, if you already know the request, once we pay respects to Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and to start things off, after that, it's always nice to start with the lay people determining the 5 precepts, and then we'll take it from there. And redetermining Sinha, the 5 precepts, 3 refuges, is always a good way to start things off, because this is the very foundation. This is the very foundation of our practice. These refuges and precepts. Welcome. We'll begin with lighting the candles and bowing to the triple gem, and a short introductory chant before we move into further introductions and taking the 5 precepts.
sambuddho svakato yena bhagavata dhammo supatipanno yassa bhagavato savaka sangho Dhammayang bhagavantam sadhammang sasangham Imehi sakare yataraham arobitehi abhipuchayama sadhu no bante bhagava suchira parini buddhopi Ajima janata nukampa manasa Ime sakare dugatapana Karabhute patiganthatu Amhakam dikaratam itaya sukaya Araham samma sambuddho bhagava Buddham bhagavantam abhivademi Svakato bhagavata dhammo dhammam namassami Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho sangham namami Annamayam buddhassa bhagavato pubbabhaganamakarangaro masse Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa
Gra. We'll pay respects to Luang Por. Before we go into the taking of the 5 precepts, just invite Luang Por to give some words of welcome. Again, that if anybody, any of Thai readers want to use the chanting book, which is on the back bench on my left, then it's on page 199, and the Kalakama is on page 192. Otherwise, there's sheets for the asking forgiveness that have been handed out in English.
Yes, welcome everyone. It's wonderful to see so many people making the effort to come to the monastery on a day of the week. It's a Friday, it's not a weekend, it's not a holiday. And making the effort to come to a monastery to pay respects to a senior monk. There's many options in one's life of what one can be doing, so that making that choice to come is really worthy of I just was watching those balloons start to float past. Yes.
Well, they're somewhat.
I was sitting here and thought, oh, these balloons. Okay. The balloons were leaving the ceremony. The balloons are already tired of the ceremony. Yes, so just to acknowledge the effort that people make, and to recognize that we have many choices, and to make this choice is something to really delight in. And perhaps we can go ahead and beginning with the requesting of the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts, which is an important basis for a Buddhist life, whether one is as it's very formalized of course, for the lay community, but in reality, they say monastic life is, the heart of the monastic life is refuges and precepts, and that's this is my 51st year as a monk. This is my 51st Vasa Pansa, and I've been spending all this time practicing refuges and precepts and refining it and trying to penetrate it, because in the end, all of the stuff in the books is great. All the philosophy, all the treatises on Buddhist practice, it's great, good stuff. But in the end, the essence is that fundamental understanding that gives the heart a true refuge. So, can begin. Somebody.
Can we ask for someone to come forward as the Makatayok, the chanting leader? Makatayok.
Okay. No. Just start with a request. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Te sarana kamanang nititang. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature.
Adhinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adhinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given.
Kame sumichachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kame sumichachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct.
I undertake the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from lying.
I undertake the precept to refrain from lying.
Sura meraya majapamadatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sura meraya majapamadatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness.
I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness.
Immani pancha sikkhapadhani silena sugating yante silena bhoga sambada silena niputing yanti tasma silang viso daye. Just while I'm thinking of it.
Having determined the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts, the next part of the ceremony is I will lead everybody in the kalakama, the asking forgiveness. So I will be chanting, and as I'm chanting, everybody can be following along. So the Sangha and everybody can all do this together.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Mahatere pamadena dvaratayena katam sabang aparadang kamatuno bante. Mahatere pamadena dvaratayena katam sabang aparadang kamatuno bante. Mahatere pamadena dvaratayena katam sabang aparadang kamatuno bante.
Aham kamami tumhehi pime kamitabam.
Kamama bante.
He atalanda sukita vilulha buddha sasane. Aroka sukita hota sahasambe hinyatipi sambe buddha balapata padhe kanancha yang balang arahanta nancha teje narakang banda misampaso.
Sadhu.
Okay, so that's a very traditional ceremony for the for the monastics. It's something that we do all the time in terms of when we paying respects to senior elders. It's very much the tradition. And as Ajahn Yaniko was mentioning, especially the beginning of the rains retreat is a time when, as monastics, we would go around and pay respects to the senior elders in our community, both the teachers of Wat Pah Pong as well as the administrative elders in the city. And we certainly, being here in America, then there's not the same number of monasteries, but we make a point always of going down and paying respects to Luang Por Mahaprasad of Wat Buddha Son. He is our sort of venerable elder, and he kind of keeps an eye on us, which is nice. And just it's like the Buddha, when he was first awakened, he was just sort of reflecting and thinking, as just in ordinary human consciousness, we want to be able to draw close to and have respect for something, somebody, something, some person, and for himself, he looked around and said, "Well, I'm right now. I'm the only one awakened in the world, and to pay respects or to give honor to somebody else, and it's not quite right. But what what do I give respect to? And he gave respect to the Dhamma, is what he thought. That's what to do. And then the establishing of the Sangha on Dhamma principles. So this is something that he left as his legacy for us to be able to follow and have as a refuge, and to have as a basis of an object of reverence. And it's and inevitably there's there's sometimes you do it out of ceremony and ritual, fulfilling the form, but not really. And I can remember, like Ajahn Chah used to go every year, pay respects to the head monk of the province, take his monks with him, and dutifully pay respects, and he would have to spend that time listening to criticism and him being very. It's almost slanderous, but the things that he would say. But the head monk of the province hated Ajahn Chah, and he thought he was a terrible monk. But Ajahn Chah would go every year, sit there. He'd done his duty, and he'd go back to his monastery and carry on practice and teaching in what he was always doing, what he felt was Dhamma Vinaya. So that when we're able to fulfill, like a ceremony, I think there's something deep in our human psyche that just really appreciates ceremony or a ritual that when it has meaning, there's something that is really quite powerful to elicit wholesome qualities in our heart. And to me, one of the brilliant legacies of the Buddha is this asking of forgiveness ceremony as a symbol of paying respects, but also an opportunity to ask for forgiveness. And it's both as on a personal level, but then also especially when it's a senior elder, then it's a representative of the Sangha and a symbol of the Dhamma that the Buddha gave us. So that there's this opportunity to in a very humble way to recognize, okay, if there are any things that I have done by body, speech, or mind that are inappropriate, unskillful, I ask for forgiveness. And then the senior elder was, yes, I forgive you, may you forgive me also. So the sense of mutual asking and giving of forgiveness is a really, again, very simple, but when you reflect on it and really bring it into the heart, it lays a foundation for really growing as a human being, because it allows us to step over, step beyond, step past our own habits, conditioning, unskillful tendencies that we all have. It's just as the Dhamma that the Buddha gave was a Dhamma for human beings. It wasn't a Dhamma for perfected beings. It wasn't, although that's not true either, because I think of what I'm thinking of is his teaching is really for beings in the human condition who are really wish to transcend it and not be stuck in this realm of greed, hatred, delusion, in this realm of desire, ignorance, and suffering. But also, when the Buddha, I think of a teaching what the Buddha gave to fully awakened beings, the Ovada Patimokkha. It was a teaching that the Buddha gave to 1,250 arahants. These are, beings who have done their practice. They're purified the hearts, and the Buddha gives a teaching that reiterates the fundamentals of what his teaching is. Not just his teaching. It's because in the Pali, Sampapapasa Karnang Kusala Supasampada Sachitta Pariyotapanang Etang Buddhana Sasanang. The last verse is Etang Buddhana Sasanang. This is the teaching of all the Buddhas. It's not sort of my teaching as me, Gautama Buddha. This is if there are whatever awakened being there is, this is what awakened beings teach. All the Buddhas of the past, because the Buddha, didn't claim a uniqueness of his liberation. He said this is something that has been in this human condition, that the Dhamma has always been present. It is apparent here and now, and that to be able to, of course, to be able to touch that Dhamma, to be able to see that Dhamma, then we have to clear our own hearts and that sambhavapasa karnam, to refrain from all that is unskillful, unwholesome. It's really, it's fairly simple, really. I mean, just as we do, we don't need to analyze it too deeply. Just reflecting on what is it that is conditioned by greed, hatred, delusion? Well, that's going to bring suffering. Or there's a phrase in Thai that I used to use. Kasapa bhapa is the unskillful, the unwholesome. The kusala, so the kusala, that which is bun kuson, or is punya. In Thai, jai sai ben bun, jai kun ben bab. Not very. The clear, peaceful mind is wholesome and skillful. The mind that is stirred up and cloudy is unskillful. It is papa. As a hard translation, it's evil. This is it leads to suffering, but it's all in the heart. So that refraining from being willing to refrain from that which is unskillful, and we're as human beings, we kind of think, well, I'm not so bad. I mean, haven't killed anybody lately. But it's been a long time since I've robbed a bank. It's not that level that we're practicing at. This is a bit more refined, especially if we want to be happy and peaceful, where we need to be alert to what is it that is making the heart clouded, and can I refrain from that? Can I let it go? Of course, that refraining from it is it's tied. The whole process works together, in the sense, the refraining from the unskillful, but also the doing of that which is good. Because the more one nourishes those wholesome roots, those skillful habits of mind, the skillful moods of the mind, then that wears away the unskillfulness. It's just is it's a fairly simple process, and that itself is a sacitta pariyota padang, to purify the mind, purifying the heart, and part of it is through that brightening the mind, brightening the heart with the qualities of loving kindness and generosity, but then also the willingness to relinquish, to let go, to release the identification with me and mine. And of course, what is most dear to our hearts, that is me and mine, is my moods. My likes, my dislikes, which are always right, and why don't people just get it, what's wrong with them? So that tendency to, kau kang tua eng, it's sort of like we line up ourselves according to our own preferences and sense of me. So that purification, really, the Buddha's teaching of relinquishing self, and not in a negation of self, but in a recognition that whatever mood, whatever thought, whatever mental impression I have ever had, it's never been me. I've never been able to hold on to it and hold it up and say, this is what I truly am. It's like, there's, of course we're so far away, but Luang Por Pasanno, there's a couple, I've seen her around the monastery, there's a couple people who've got a t-shirt, probably from a birthday of Luang Por Pasanno's fairly recently, and it's a t-shirt, a Dhamma quote from Luang Por Pasanno: "You are not what you think, Luang Por Pasanno." And it's just so spot on, and because that's just because you think it doesn't mean that's who you really are. Even because sometimes we think some pretty stupid thoughts. Sometimes we think really intelligently, but we use it as a club over other people, or we use it as a club on ourselves. So that because sometimes even if you're right, it's like Luang Por Cha sort of saying, yeah, right, but not true. True, but not right. Because sometimes you can get something right, but then you use it in the wrong way, and then it's not true anymore. It's not true to Dhamma. It's not true to the truth of the way things really are. So it's just this sense of freeing being willing to relinquish all the unskillfulness that we have, and just to look at it, and it's not creating a sense of self of, I'm such a greedy person, or I'm such a angry person, or I'm such a hopeless doubter. That's just a mood of the mind that can be relinquished and let go of. It can be changed. It's not permanent. It's not stable. It's not steady. And because it's not permanent and stable, then it can't be picked up and say, this is what I truly am. So it can be let go of. And it's, it's kind of, it's almost like Buddhism 101, but we tend to skip over the foundations and want to get on to, wow, I'm going to get my samadhi together, or I'm going to get more knowledge of the intricacies of the emptiness but it's just, can I let go of a bad mood? Can I refrain from that? Can I not just get caught up in a mood of irritation and aversion, or greed? Those tables of food were if pretty. I hope people were restrained. Right? It's hard. It really, there's. So, people are incredibly generous and kind and brought, really, really delightful dishes to offer, and it was really quite touching. But yeah, in the end, can I refrain from my habits of greed? It's not that one can't enjoy it. One is just enjoying something that's well done, well presented, and done with kindness and generosity. But then it's also knowing one's limits, and so it's a voice of wisdom. So that there's just that refraining from the papa, the that which is unskillful, being able to do that which is truly good, because it's when we've got choices, and we have choices all the time, and to make the choice to turn to generosity, turn to kindness, turn to forgiveness. As we did the ceremony, that's the opportunity is an opportunity of recognizing that it's not just on a special day from time to time that we have the opportunity to offer forgiveness and to receive forgiveness. It's something that it's a reminder that is something that we can be doing on a regular basis, and it brightens the heart and brightens the mind. And the purification of the mind. Remember what the essence of the purity of the Buddhist path is, this a purity of non-identification. The way of truth, the way things truly are, is that they are fundamentals of nature. That's what Dhamma means also. Dhamma is nature. And so that when all things are Dhamma, you can't grasp onto it and say, this is me, this is mine, this is who I am, this is how I want things to be, this is how things should be. That's overlaying truth with our desires and our particular biases. So that sense of non-identification, a releasing of the I-making and the mind-making is the path out of suffering, and that's the purification of the heart is the opportunity to experience freedom from dukkha, freedom from suffering, and that's the blessing that the Buddha gives us. Over, but still, it's a gift that he gave 2,500 years ago, and it's still bearing fruit all this time later for anyone who anyone who wants to pick it up and use it. So that the opportunity today, people have come and joined the ceremony. It really is touching to see how many people have come. And then as I was saying before the meal, it's touching, is moving when it's about, my birthday, but and embarrassing, but it's also a reminder that I've had the good fortune to be born in this world and be drawn to the Buddha's teachings, and to have met good teachers, and have had the opportunity to be a catalyst for others to get a feel for what the possibilities of the teachings of the Buddha can give us. Today, it's just this opportunity to continue that, and with my really sincere wish that each and every one of you continue to grow in the Buddha's teaching, in the Buddha's way, and to really experience for yourselves and the fruits of freedom from suffering. To offer that for reflection. Right, okay. And I have a birthday request. And people, a request for people to indulge me. Apple and Sumana made a banner, and it's for my mother. And so 3 days ago was her birthday, and it was her 101st birthday. I wasn't able to be there because entering Vasa was the 20th. Today was I should be here, so I couldn't get up to Canada and back quick enough. So I'm going to be going next week, and we'll join my family for observing my mom's 100th birthday. But they had the Apple and Suma had the idea if we all had a group picture of all of us, and then holding that banner as a wish for my mom's happy birthday. Sadhu mai. Okay, yeah, great. I thought it was it's pretty awful out there, isn't it? But is it logistically possible in here?
I think it's possible. If we stood
Yeah.
and held it, and then everybody else sitting turns around and take the photo from back there.
Yeah, who's going to take the photo? Well, do we have a real? Yeah, she's a real photographer. Yeah, because once everybody starts pulling their phones out, then it's complete chaos.
So we can all stand up,
Yeah.
and we can hold it, and then all the lay people can just stay sitting but turn around, like slide in one of the.
You think? Oh, I guess you can with a. Yeah, they'll probably squish up. Oh, also, why don't we pay respects to the shrine first? Let's close this properly, beautifully. After all this beautiful ceremony, let it descend into chaos. Yeah, and I'll after we'll pay respects, take the picture, and to wrap it up. People can go wherever you wish, and I'll probably be around and receive visitors after.
Anybody who is still around at 4 p.m., there will be a live Zoom teaching on the screen that Luang Por Dhamma will be giving. It'll be meditation and Dhamma talk, 4 to 5:30.
Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho